Well, today we are lucky enough to have travelled all the way to tropical North Queensland to a very, very special space. This is Barron Gorge National Park, and just above this national park is a most magnificent Skyrail Cableway that we can actually journey on. So if you're heading up to Cairns, this is one that you absolutely must add to your to-do list. I would like to welcome today Marc, who is a ranger, to take us on a little bit of an exploration. Hi, Marc.
Hi, Cassandra. Thanks so much for having me this afternoon.
No, thank you. Thank you. How is the weather in Cairns today?
As always, the weather is absolutely beautiful. So I think our average temperature this time of year is about 28 degrees. So that'd be music to the ears of some of your southern viewers.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I know there's some of us right now, maybe me included, that's feeling a little bit cool. So the idea of a 28-degree day in North Queensland is very, very tempting. I love that we get to join you within the rainforest here today. Tell me, Marc, where exactly are you?
So currently I'm at Red Peak Station. So to get here, you arrive at the Cairns airport. 15 minutes drive north of Cairns in tropical North Queensland, bang, you're at Skyrail. 10 minutes later, you're out in the middle of the World Heritage Area, ancient rainforest surrounded by the bush, like what you can see right here. So easy to get to, absolutely accessible and absolutely beautiful, as you can see.
It's absolutely spectacular, and I love that it is just 15 minutes outside of Cairns. So quick, as you mentioned, to get to the rainforest. That's amazing. And I just want to remind our viewers today that we are live. Marc is actually coming to us live from Cairns. I know that you've probably got lots of questions about Skyrail, the national park and the region, and you're more than welcome to pop them in those comments below, and I will definitely read them out to Marc when we have time here. And tell us where you're viewing from. Are you from one of the southern states where it's a little bit cold and you're desperate for that warm heat? Or are you in fact over in WA and looking forward to coming over to Queensland? We want to hear from you. So please comment below, and hello to everybody today. The Skyrail being 15 minutes from the city is so accessible, as we've mentioned, and it goes straight over the Barron Gorge National Park, which is a World Heritage listed site. That's right, isn't it, Marc?
Yeah, absolutely. We like to get our guests really close and personal with the treetops. The canopy, the top layer of the rainforest, is where all the most amazing things happen. So when you travel with Skyrail, you'll be skimming across the top of the trees, about 40 meters above the ground level, and you'll be surrounded by endemic plants, endemic animals. So these are animals and plants which occur only here and nowhere else on the face of the earth. So it's an absolutely amazing experience like no other I know of.
That's really cool. I actually did not know that. That's brilliant. The Skyrail itself is about 7.5 kilometres, I think, isn't it, in total? So you start at the bottom at Smithfield, and then this is you're at the first stop on the Skyrail, aren't you? How long does that take to get from the base to the first level, and what should we expect as we step out?
Expect to be amazed without too much of a cliche. Most people don't really associate Australia with rainforests. So when they arrive in Cairns, they are surrounded by the verdant hills, hop on Skyrail, and you're close to the rainforest treetops, and it is very much a wow factor. This is the only place on the face of the earth where you have two World Heritage areas banged up against each other. So Great Barrier Reef, World Heritage Rainforest. You arrive at Skyrail, we offer you the free Skyrail interpretive app, so straight away, bang, you can have as much or as little connection with the rainforest as you like. 10 minutes into your trip, you arrive at Red Peak Station. You'll have a bloke or one of our rangers like me to provide you with a free guided tour, heaps of information everywhere you go. So you can dive in, immerse yourself in the tropical rainforest. From here, Barron Falls, a further 15 minutes over old growth rainforest, and you'll come up close and personal with the huge, tumultuous Barron Falls, and then onto the rainforest village, Kuranda. So it's one of those trips where you can dive in as deep as you want, and the more you learn here, the more you realise how amazing the place is.
So on that note, I think that we should actually take a bit of a walk through the forest and follow you, Marc, as you show us some of your favourite little spots and give us a little bit. Don't give us everything, because I want to come and visit myself, but just a little bit of information along the way. Can we do that?
I couldn't give you everything because I'm abundantly aware of how little I know, but I'll show you what I do know. Okay, so right here along the Red Peak Boardwalk, we're surrounded by ancient and endemic plants. You might be aware that the rainforest in Queensland is the world's oldest continually surviving tropical rainforest. So what that means is that we have the highest concentration of ancient plants and animals of anywhere on the face of the earth. So the forest around us is almost from a different era. When you step onto Skyrail, it's a little bit like stepping into a time machine because you're surrounded by these ancient survivors from a prehistoric world. One of the most iconic and the most visible ones is right here. So you can see this giant tree here. That is a Queensland kauri. So plants like this existed about 130 million years ago, unchanged from what you can see today. So what you've just seen existed alongside and before the time of the dinosaurs, as you can see right here today at Skyrail. But it doesn't stop there. We're just absolutely surrounded by these ancient survivors. It's pretty exciting.
That is so incredible. Tell me a little bit about maybe the animals that you might be lucky enough to spy when you're up there.
What would you guess we have here, Cassandra?
Oh my gosh. I'm going to go, you know what, my first thing and one of my favorite things is frogs.
Yep. So that's a really good answer. We have about 50 different species, so 50 different species of frogs right here in an area about 0.1% the size of Australia. So it's absolutely mega diverse for frogs. If you like your frogs, it's a good place to be, Cassandra.
Absolutely. That's exciting.
Yep. On top of that, every one of our environmental niches here, our rainforest niches, are filled by an Australian equivalent to what you'd find in other rainforests. So we, of course, don't have monkeys in this rainforest. What do you think we might have as their alternative?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Tell me. I don't like pop quizzes.
Sorry, Cassandra, I thought I'd throw you under the bus. So in the treetops here, we have tree kangaroos living. So kangaroos living way up in the tops of the trees here. Can you believe that?
No, I don't know if you're tricking me or if you're being serious. That's the problem.
Absolutely. So the ones we have here are Lumholtz tree kangaroos. The species genus is Dendrolagus, which means tree hare, but they're quite a bit larger than a hare. Biggest we have are up to about 15 kilograms, living way up in the canopy. But it doesn't stop at tree kangaroos. They're very much a wow. And problem with most Australians is we're so used to spinning a yarn about drop bears that when we do have something amazing like tree kangaroos, we're inclined not to believe them. But this rainforest is full of weird little surprises just like that.
Oh my God, that is so cool. I really genuinely thought that you were having a joke with me, but now I'm really excited to come and see if I can spy one myself. Yeah. We've actually got Mark, we've got a couple of comments here and a couple from Victoria and New South Wales really jealous of the weather up there. Oh, yeah. You know, you're not even in a jumper. How ridiculous. And it's July almost. No, it's June, almost July. And then we've got Steele, who's also actually made a comment here. They are coming up to Skyrail to see you in 10 days. So that's awesome. That's going to be brilliant. Really cool. And so what else were you going to tell me then when I rudely interrupted you?
Not at all. In terms of animals, if you like your birds, this is a pretty spectacular place to be. So again, it's only a tiny, tiny proportion of Australia's landmass, about 0.1%. Yet we have about half of Australia's bird species, including pop quiz.
No, tell me.
The cassowary, Cassandra.
I should have guessed.
Yep. It's probably our most iconic bird species up here. It grows to be about the same height, the same weight as me. So it's a big bird walking through the undergrowth of the forest floor. So these are true living fossils. And when you see them walking around, it looks like you're looking into the face of a living dinosaur, which is exactly what it is.
That is very cool. And of course, they've got a really bright comb, haven't they? So you should be able to try and spot them as they scurry along. Or have I got that wrong?
You're on the right track. So the cassowary we have here is called the double wattled cassowary, and the wattle is what's brightly coloured. So the skin around its face is deep, bright blue, sapphire blue, red chest and neck. But the comb, the cask. Unfortunately, it's a brownie colour. So
yes.
you're on very much the right track.
You know what?
But,
we didn't speak about animals before we hopped on this call. So this has just been this has been a real pop quiz as to how much I know about North Queensland, and clearly not enough. Clearly need to be coming up there.
Yeah. The more you know, the more you know you don't know. There are animals here, plants here, which will absolutely blow your mind, especially from those from down south and people from West Australia. They come here and their jaws are on the floor. So it's a pretty special place and absolutely accessible for everybody.
Yeah, I think so. Do you know, I reckon that we should go ahead and show our viewers what the Skyrail actually looks like, because we've been talking about it and we've been talking about the journey from Smithfield right up to the first stop, which is where you're at the moment. But we really haven't explained or described what it's like to travel on Skyrail Cableway and what it actually looks like.
Well, we will go and have a look, but it's really, really accessible, really, really slow. So we slow down as they come into stations and people hop aboard. We offer a couple of different packages. We have standard gondolas in which you get a 360 panorama of the surrounding rainforest. Mm-hmm. And for those of you who are a little bit more adventurous, which I'll show you today, we've got the diamond views in which you can see straight down to the forest floor through a see-through floor. So if you're adventurous, this is a fantastic opportunity for you to test your mettle.
Actually, Christine is commenting on here today, and she says she absolutely loves the Skyrail. Thank you. But she's referring to something that her cousin did, the dangerous escalation. I'm going to assume it's the glass floor. So,
yeah, we do that's a really, really popular ticket. But we do offer a very, very exclusive pass, which is a canopy glider. It's for the really, really bold out there. So this is a completely open air gondola guided by someone like me or one of the rangers, and you get very, very close and personal with the surrounding rainforest. Might have been that one.
It might have been by the sounds of it, but a truly amazing experience, apparently. That is what Christine has said. So I love that you've got opportunities for everybody of all walks of life to be able to experience this incredible rainforest location, be that you want to be safe in the Skyrail Cableway, which we're going to have a look at, or be that you want to be a little bit more daring and still safe, but to be able to go up in these different cableways. And I am sorry, I forgot what you called the one that was open.
That one's called the canopy glider.
Canopy glider. Okay, well, I really must have a look at that. I don't know if I'd have the nerve for it, but I'll have a look. But I'll let you take us through to the cableway.
Sure thing. Just want to follow through the undercross.
Fantastic. And thank you to your team there behind the camera as well, Marnie and Mon, who are doing a brilliant job of following you through the rainforest. Thank you, ladies.
Most welcome.
Great.
Okay, so you guys are getting a really nice behind the scenes view. We're not currently open today, but from here on we'll be open 7 days a week. So yeah, you get a very exclusive private tour around Red Peak Station today.
That is exciting. Thank you, guys. That's really cool. Oh, here we go.
Okay, so upon your arrival at the platform, you'll be greeted by a lovely, happy, smiling attendant. Marnie's standing in today. And here's one of our standard gondolas. 360 view.
Fantastic. And Mark, how many people can go into those gondolas at a time?
Maximum of 6. At the moment, as much as possible, we're favouring just groups travelling together. But it is possible we may have to share with someone, but we don't go more than 4 people when they're sharing.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Welcome to Diamond View.
Oh, this is very cool. I'm so happy that we get to go for a ride. I really feel like we're there.
Absolutely. It's not so exciting now in the station. We're going really slow, but once we head out into the rainforest proper, it'll get really exciting.
This is great. And so there's 2 stops along the way for the cableway. We've spoken about that. The stop that we won't be able to explore today, but one that everybody absolutely must come and do, is right up to Barron Falls. And that would be just incredible. Now, what time of year, because everyone's going to ask, what time of year is it best to come up to see Barron Falls? When is it flowing?
Well, the falls are flowing quite well right now. So if you come over the next couple of weeks, it would be great. They tend to be absolutely pumping during the summer months. So that's when we get most of our rainfall. And you can actually get quite soaked standing at our cantilever lookout, which projects over the falls, the glass bottom lookout. So it's quite spectacular. And you'll just get blasted by mist coming up off the falls. It's really, really special.
That is so special. Here we go.
They're just heading out to the rainforest now.
Oh, that is incredible.
Yeah. So as we pass this next ridge here, we'll be able to see straight out over the Great Barrier Reef and out over the rainforest.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. I feel like I'm right there. That's incredible, guys.
You want to have a look down now, Cassandra?
Okay, let's try. Let's do it. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
So that's straight down to the forest floor. You can see the canopy layer and a couple of steps further down, right down to the forest floor, about 40 or 50 metres below us.
That is incredible. I think I've used that word about 50 times already here this afternoon. This is just blowing my mind. It's just amazing. And look at that view. I mean, the rainforest is spectacular. That view out to the reef is amazing. What are we looking at there? Is that Cairns or is that out to the beaches like Palm Cove?
What was that, sir?
Sorry, Cassandra, can you repeat that?
I said what? Sorry, I know it's a little bit noisy, but it's well worth it. When we look out there towards your right, are we looking out over Cove or where are we looking there?
So the mountains you can see along the coast are there's Earl Hill, if you're familiar with Cairns, so that's just next to Trinity Beach.
Yes.
And further around, so further north, you'll get to Palm Cove, Clifton Beach, all that area. You can just start to see the start of Double Island, which is really familiar to most Cairns locals, but this whole area is the Cairns Northern Beaches.
Oh, that's brilliant. Absolutely perfect. You know, when you were saying before, Mark, about getting, going out over Barron Falls and the mist of the rain, of the falls coming on you, it automatically made me think about the experiences that we expect to have in places like, and I know it's different, but the likes of the Niagara Falls and the Vic Falls in Africa and Canada, and that's the kind of experience you expect there. But how incredible, I did not know that we could go to North Queensland, especially during that rain season, and experience over our own incredible falls and be, wet by those falls, standing out on the walkway. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I think the local name for the Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe is translates as the smoke that thunders. And when you step out at Barron Falls Station, when it's flowing, it's just vibrating through your bones, and you just get covered in a spray. There's actually a neat little secret at Barron Falls too. So because of the spray and the position of the sun, you get a almost perpetual rainbow cast over the front of the falls. So most of the photos of the falls during the wet season look like they've got a rainbow photo stamped on them, which is quite special.
That is really, really special. Oh my goodness. Mark, it's almost sad to have to leave you there on the cableway, but I suppose we should let you go and let you get back to your normal duties. Thank you so much to yourself, Mark, and to the team, of course, Mon and Marnie, for helping us bring our viewers to Skyrail and to Cairns today. We have so many incredible packages that include touring and self-drive holidays for the region. I'm going to pop those in the comments so everybody can see those today. Start looking around, and on every single itinerary, we absolutely recommend a visit to Skyrail, and now you can see why. Thank you so much, team. Really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. See you soon.